Okay, so let's start with a question. It's a bit strange, maybe a little sarcastic even.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Imagine you walk up to the headquarters of the biggest organization fighting heart disease, right? The number one killer worldwide.
Yeah, okay. Got it.
And you knock on the door and you say, "Help me. Please. How do we stop people eating these like sugary processed things that are literally killing them?"
Right, the artery clogging stuff.
Exactly. What do you expect them to say? What's the one thing you think they'd advise?
Well, you'd expect a pretty strong reaction, like cut off the junk food immediately. Maybe they'd hand you a pamphlet about avoiding soda and chips.
Absolutely. You'd think they'd be the first one saying, "Stop the sugary drinks."
Yeah.
They should be leading the charge.
Which makes this real-life situation that happened recently in Texas, well, kind of mind-bending.
Oh, what happened?
So there's this legislative committee looking at a bill. Pretty simple idea, really.
It was about putting some limits on how food stamps, the SNAP program, could be used. Specifically, stopping people from buying, the really ultra-processed stuff.
Like what? Soda, candy?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Soda candy, chips, cookies, the usual suspects.
Huh. Okay, so the American Heart Association must have been thrilled, right?
Yeah.
Cheering from the sidelines.
You would think it lines up perfectly with their mission, doesn't it?
It seems like a no-brainer.
Except they showed up to oppose the bill.
Wait, what? Oppose it?
Yeah. Their director for governmental relationships was actually there, in person, arguing against limiting SNAP purchases of those exact items.
Seriously. Against limiting soda and candy. The Heart Association.
I know. It's shocking. Now, they did backtrack pretty quickly after people understandably got furious.
I bet. But that initial reaction.
Wow.
But that initial stance, that's the key, isn't it? That's what makes us ask. Okay,
Yeah.
what's really going on here? What kind of pressure makes a health group side, even initially with big soda?
Yeah, that's the real question. What was their official reason initially? Well, the official line was something like concern about potential impacts on participation and population health.
Which sounds like political speak.
Totally. It basically translates to, we're worried if people can't buy their giant bottle of soda, they might just drop out of the food stamp program altogether.
Which is just, it really shows you the power dynamic, doesn't it? The first instinct is to protect the junk food industry's access to public money.
Exactly. It's stunning. So let's do it. Let's follow the money.
Okay, let's dive into this $10 billion rabbit hole.
10 billion. That's the number we're talking about here. The stake is huge.
Yeah, it really puts it in perspective.
And you have to start with just how much of this stuff taxpayers are subsidizing when you look at the data for SNAP purchases.
It's pretty clear, isn't it?
Unambiguous.
Yeah.
Soda is the single most frequently bought item, period.
The king of subsidized junk food.
And when you add it all up, taxpayers are putting about $10 billion a year into SNAP. And a huge chunk of that money that's supposed to be for nutrition is going straight to soda companies, junk food makers. It's basically a guaranteed income stream for them.
$10 billion.
Yeah.
Guaranteed. That's definitely something an industry would fight tooth and nail to protect.
And that explains the conflict of interest we just saw with the American Heart Association.
Right. It's like hiring a personal trainer who's secretly sponsored by a donut company.
Exactly. The incentives are all wrong.
And it's not just random donations, is it? There's a structure.
Oh, yeah. They have this thing called the Industry Nutrition Forum.
Sounds official.
It does. But when you look at who's in this forum, this sort of members-only club,
Let me guess. Big food companies.
bingo, Pepsi, General Mills, companies whose main business is making stuff loaded with sugar, salt, processed ingredients.
So there's a direct financial link. The AHA gets funding from the very companies making the food that contributes to heart disease.
Precisely. And suddenly, supporting a bill that might cut off a $10 billion revenue stream for your funders, well, it gets awkward, doesn't it?
Yeah, you don't want to bite the hand that feeds you, even if that hand is offering you a cookie you know is bad for you.
And this whole thing doesn't just play out in politics. It shows up right in the grocery store. Let's talk about the health halo.
Oh, yes. The little check mark, the American Heart Association seal.
You see it on a box, right? That little red heart check. And your brain
Correct.
goes.
Healthy, approved by the experts.
Yeah.
Instant trust signal.
Yeah, it gives you permission, almost. Go ahead. It's fine.
But, and this is the kicker, you can apparently pay for that certification.
You can pay for the health halo.
Seems like it. And if you actually look closely at the ingredients on some of these certified products,
What do you find?
well, you might see, like, whole grain oats listed prominently. But then you look further down.
Oh.
Cornstarch, sugar, maybe corn syrup, lots of it. The certification often seems to reward, let's say, marginal improvements rather than actual robust healthiness.
So wait, if a cereal company takes its, I don't know, 90% sugar cereal down to 80% sugar?
They might be able to pay the AHA to slap that heart healthy check mark on it. It seems that way sometimes.
That's an amazing business model. Get paid to fight heart disease and get paid to certify products that, well, don't exactly help.
It's a perfect feedback loop, financially speaking,
Yeah.
which actually brings us to the bigger picture here. This whole system. It feels broken, but maybe it isn't.
What do you mean?
Maybe it's working perfectly, just
Yeah.
not for us, for them. It relies on this idea of the double subsidy.
Okay, break that down. How are taxpayers paying twice?
All right, payment number one, the raw materials.
The ingredients.
Exactly. Before that soda or those chips even exist, the basic building blocks are made artificially cheap by government policy. Think about dent corn.
Dent corn.
Yeah.
That's the industrial stuff, right? Not sweet corn, used for syrup.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Corn syrup, high fructose corn syrup. It's a key ingredient in so much processed food. And under things like the Farm Bill, it gets subsidized heavily. We're talking figures like $195 per metric ton.
And the idea behind the subsidy is supposed to be helping farmers, right?
That's the official story, yeah, stabilizing farming. But the effect, it makes the raw ingredients for junk food, corn, soy, sugar incredibly cheap. So cheap that it makes financial sense for companies to pump out tons of processed stuff.
But how direct is that link? Does a farm subsidy really make my bag of chips cheaper?
It absolutely does.
Yeah.
Because those subsidized ingredients, especially high fructose corn syrup, become cheaper than alternatives like cane sugar. So companies like Pepsi or General Mills use them extensively. They get their core ingredients at a bargain price, thanks to taxpayer money.
Okay, so that's payment one. We subsidize the cheap ingredients. What's payment two?
Payment two is the S&APP program itself.
Oh.
So first, our tax dollars make the corn cheap. Then our tax dollars fund the S&APP program. And then those S&APP dollars are used to buy the finished junk food made from the very ingredients we just subsidized.
Wow. So we pay to make the corn cheap, and then we pay again for people to buy the corn syrup made from that cheap corn. It flows right back to the industry.
It's incredible, isn't it? Taxpayers fund both the supply and the demand for the least healthy food.
And the consequences aren't just financial, are they? This leaps right back into health.
Oh, absolutely. This economic setup directly fuels the public health crisis. And that creates, believe it or not, a third profit center.
Don't tell me, Big Pharma.
You got it. All this consumption, especially the things like high fructose corn syrup, is a major driver of chronic diseases.
We hear about empty calories, but it sounds like it's worse than that.
It really is. From a scientific perspective, it's quite fascinating, actually. High fructose corn syrup gets metabolized differently in the body than regular sugar, like glucose.
How so?
It kind of bypasses a key regulatory checkpoint in the liver. So the liver gets flooded with fructose, and it starts turning it into fat much more rapidly. It's a process called de novo lipogenesis.
Which sounds bad.
It is. It quickly leads to fatty liver disease.
Yeah.
That's often the starting point for a whole cascade of problems. High blood pressure, inflammation, type 2 diabetes, and, yeah, eventually heart disease.
So let me get this straight. We pay taxes to make the ingredients cheap. We pay taxes again for S&APP to buy the junk food made with those ingredients. We suffer the health consequences, diabetes, heart disease, and then more money flows to Big Pharma to treat the diseases caused by the food we subsidize in the first place.
That's the loop. A closed-circuit system. Big food profits, big pharma profits. The public pays, both in taxes and in health.
It's perfect, in a terrible way.
Which is why, when that $10 billion revenue stream gets threatened, like it was by that Texas bill.
The industry doesn't just send a polite letter.
No way. They launch a full-on PR war. They've got layers of defense ready to go.
Okay, what are the tactics?
Tactic 1, front groups. We already saw that with the AHA's initial reaction.
Right, because it looks bad if the CEO of Mega Soda Corp personally argues that poor people need more sugary drinks.
Exactly. It's PR suicide.
Yeah.
So they funnel money to organizations that seem independent or even health-focused and let them make the arguments, like objecting based on participation. It's outsourcing the dirty work.
Clever. Okay, tactic 2.
Tactic 2, play the freedom card immediately.
Ah, the liberty argument.
Yep. The soda lobbyists instantly change the subject. It's not about nutrition anymore. It's about freedom to choose what you want to eat. They frame a health regulation as an attack on personal liberty.
Which is really effective, especially when talking about a program for people who might already feel constrained financially.
Precisely. arguing that taking away the cheapest calorie-dense option is taking away freedom. It hits a nerve.
Okay, front groups, freedom. What's tactic 3?
Tactic 3, social media warfare. And this isn't just random people complaining online.
It's organized.
Highly organized. Sources show the industry pays social media influencers quite a bit of money, sometimes over $1,000, just for one post, to create content opposing these kinds of bills.
Wow. So you get influencers posting about what?
About food insecurity,
Mhm.
about how vital cheap food is. You'll see posts maybe from someone portraying a struggling parent saying, if I can't buy this cheap soda or these cookies for my kids, I won't have money for vegetables.
So they twist a genuine issue, food insecurity, to protect profits from unhealthy products.
Exactly. They buy influencers to argue for cheapness over health, framing it as helping the poor. It's
Yeah.
a very sophisticated, layered defense.
So you put it all together. The $10 billion, the health groups getting funding, the double subsidy, these PR tactics. It's kind of staggering that this is just normal.
Yeah. Our whole food system seems tilted towards profiting from illness, not preventing it.
But there is a proposed solution mentioned, right? Something simple.
Beautifully simple. Actually, it's not about ending SNAP. That
Yeah.
program is vital for many people.
Right.
It's just about refining it,
Hmm.
saying, okay, let's use these funds for nutrient-dense foods, real food, not ultra-processed junk.
Just limit the purchases to healthy stuff.
Pretty much. And think about the impact that could have.
It would be huge, wouldn't it? You'd presumably see less chronic disease.
Dramatically less. Which means massive savings on healthcare, on prescription drugs, all the costs associated with treating diet-related illnesses. You'd actually be saving money while improving health. It flips the whole system.
It makes you look at the grocery aisle completely differently, doesn't it?
It really does. It stops being just about individual choice and starts looking like the end product of this huge, multi-billion-dollar economic machine designed for profit, not necessarily for your well-being.
So here's something to chew on, maybe. When the groups we trust for health advice are tangled up financially with the companies making us sick, how much freedom do you really have? Are you choosing freely, or are you just picking from a menu someone else wrote for their own benefit?